because of that, we have amassed a fan base of like big boys, and we literally have to stock up on like the like double XLT shirts because like the big boys will come through and buy them all.
And then they're going to stand at the front and just piss off everybody at the show standing behind them.
You're listening to Our Space with Matt Vatisse.
Hello. We are back with another episode of Our Space with Matt Vatisse, and this is particularly an exciting one for me as I've been following these two on social media for years now. I don't know if you remember back during the pandemic when we were all just kind of scrolling TikTok and discovering so much new music. Durry, brother and sister duo, we're having them on the show today, and they're absolutely fantastic. That was one of those first bands where I was like, you know, this is really good. Like, they were one of the first probably bands that I discovered because of TikTok. And the best part is talking with them about the difference between, you know, writing these songs and that were blowing up on TikTok to coming out with a new album very, very soon. What's the difference? What has changed between going viral and now? And I really love their answer. I've heard the album. I think it's fantastic. Their best work yet. So really excited for you to hear this chat and for you to check out this album when it finally comes out. Let's just jump right on into this chat with Durry. Joined by Austin and Taryn on Our Space with Matt Vatisse. You guys both have an album coming out June 27th. Let's jump right on into that. It's called This Movie Sucks. The name alone kind of gives me I don't know why my brain goes here, but I think of that Euphoria TikTok trend, like is this Play About Us? I don't know why that's what I think of. Like, this movie sucks. Like, thinking about my life as a movie and this movie sucks. Like, is that the vibe that you were going for with the title, or what's the story behind the name here?
Exactly right. Yep. You nailed it. Yeah, I mean the whole idea of the album and like the album cover where we're like looking at a TV, but the camera's inside the TV. The whole idea is that real life is the movie that sucks, and we're just the observers of the whole thing. And yeah, it's just about like the ridiculous things going on around us, and the plot doesn't make any sense, and the bad guys win, and you know, all that stuff it's all summed up in this movie sucks, man.
Yeah, I feel like we messed around a lot with just POVs, like alone, even just in the album cover. And yeah, like you said, like we're looking at the screen, but we put out a music video recently too, for the song This Movie Sucks, and we are the characters in the movie that we're watching, but like also we're making our own movies, and like I don't know, it's all over the place.
And there were so many, like, I want to call them Easter eggs, but they were kind of obvious, you know, 90s references and 2000s references of different movies and parodies and all of that in that music video. Is there anything in that music video that you feel not enough people are talking about, or maybe is a little bit more hidden than you expected?
I mean, people have dissected that video pretty pretty thoroughly.
There's a lot of references in there.
Yeah, we wanted it to be dense, and I think we accomplished that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's nothing that has gotten by. A couple people didn't quite catch the Home Alone reference, but I think that's the only one that was a little bit I don't know, under noticed.
Yeah, we didn't try too hard to hide anything. I feel like.
Well, it was like the crappiness was the point. So all of
Exactly.
it was like, you know, we're gonna put in like 50% effort. You know what I mean?
What was the reference you were most excited to get in there?
Probably The Matrix. That was like the one that kicked off the whole thing, was when I leaned back in my office chair and it went back really far. And I was like, whoa. And then it was like, this is it. We gotta do something.
You've also said in the past that this album was more intentional than Suburban Legend. So what about it was more intentional? What did this process look like?
Yeah, Suburban Legend we were kind of, I mean, this whole band, we kind of were thrown into this suddenly. And the first couple songs we put out were all just like, this is a fun song. Let's just like put it out, whatever. And then it blew up. And then all of a sudden we're like, we have to put an album. And then I'm like calling up my buddy being like, hey, we got to come like record some music or something. And we're figuring it out. And the whole album was like pieced together like that. Just like, oh, here's another song. All right, throw it on the album, whatever. As we're kind of trying to, catch this momentum that was happening. We weren't prepared for it essentially. And so with the second album, we had our team in place, and we had some funding, and we figured out a studio, and we got a producer, and we spent like a year just writing so many songs, too many songs, and then whittling it down to just the stuff we really loved. And all that was like kind of there was a slower, more intentional pacing to it that we were missing with Suburban Legend, where Suburban Legend was always just roll with the punches, whatever we can get, throw it out there, whatever. So yeah, with this one, it was like, we have a plan. We're going to make everything like excellent. We're going to make our music videos 6 months early, and we're going to plan all of our, content. We're going to like do everything like as planned and calculated as we can. And then we usually end up like throwing out half of the plan anyway. Two of the songs on the album were written like a week or two before we went into the studio. So after writing like probably like 30 songs in a year, and then two slots got taken up by like last minute, this song rules, throw it in there. But yeah, so the whole album is just like, just more intentional, just like more, what are we saying? What's the whole album as a whole piece has more, I don't know, like congruency to it. And yeah, there's like themes, and there's like reoccurring little vignettes between songs, and there's like there's just more going on that I think is just because we took our time.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, I feel like our first album, Suburban Legend, we kind of stumbled into it, honestly. Like you said, we were kind of reacting based off of each thing and building off of that. But then for this next album, we just had resources this time, and we had connections and the time that we took to do it. And it just felt like a very different process. I don't know.
I was just gonna say, we also got to like go to a like big studio with like a really great sound room, and like we recorded all real drums this time and real amps, and like everything's just like gritty, and you can just like feel the life of the album. And before I was saying, I'm impressed. I'm happy with what we made for Suburban Legend, but a lot of it was cutting corners and trying to save money, and trying to figure out stuff like that. There's a lot of like good enough on Suburban Legend. This movie sucks is like great. Everything is like, we're happy, like we're done, and it's like feels awesome.
That makes a big difference, having that intentionalism. Like your word, I feel like that's the perfect word to describe what you just explained. To have that time, have this like the sound, the instruments, the studio, the connections, all of that. Like if that sounds like it's just in and of itself makes a big difference for a musician.
Yeah, absolutely. It was honestly, this album was like my dream setup I've always wanted to do, where we like lock ourselves in a studio for 2 weeks and just like hammer it out and lose our minds, and then at the end you have an album, and that's like perfect. That's what I've always wanted.
And Taryn said that you guys wrote a couple of songs in there as well, like 2 weeks before going into the studio. Is that the quickest you've ever written a song, or was it like the pressure? How did which songs are they, and how did they turn out in your opinion?
Yeah. So those two songs, the last minute songs, was a song called Slug Bug and another secret song. I don't know if we can say anything.
Don't say anything.
Austin, what do you think? Okay. Another song.
No. And a different song.
Yes. But on our first time we recorded the song Who's Laughing Now a while ago, Austin was like writing the new lyrics on the way there the day we were recording. And so, I mean, that was probably the most last minute things kind of came together. And I was like learning the song in the studio or on the way there, whatever. But yeah, so these other songs that were last minute, I feel like they're some of our favorite songs. And
okay.
I don't know if
2 weeks is a lifetime.
Yeah. I don't know if they're our favorites because they're just more fresh. They were like way more exciting in the moment. Or like we had really flushed out all of the other songs. And so it just felt fresh. I love how they turned out. And it just came together really naturally, I feel like.
Who's Laughing Now was like the demo blew up before I finished writing it, and then the next morning I like called up my buddy and I finished writing it on the way to his house. We recorded it and mixed it and released it that day. So that was the quickest. That was the quickest we've ever done a song. But so yeah, any slower than that is great. That's awesome.
You mentioned earlier too that your last record was made pretty quick and was, scrappy and put together like that. Were you putting songs together in less than 2 weeks for that one, or did that still take more time? Like, was the 2 weeks the fastest you've ever written a song with your? I want to say back up against the wall, but maybe that's not the right term.
Yeah, I mean, with the last record, it was more like we had super limited resources, so it was more like we go into the studio once and bang out what we can, and then we'll go make some more money and come back. Like, and then eventually we like had an album's worth of songs, through that process. And so, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely we have kind of a bad habit of. I love posting like early demos. Like as soon as I'm like ready for something, like, oh, maybe the internet will like this one, and I do it, and then we have to scramble and record it. I've done it like 3 times now, where a song will go viral, and if we miss it, like it's like we got to do it now, or we're gonna miss the viral moment, and so basically we stopped teasing songs. And we're just like,
we're told.
Yeah, let's just finish the song first and then we can post about it. So that's what we do now.
There's no more testing for TikTok. Be like, do they want a full song just by dropping a chorus and then writing? I see a lot of artists doing that still to this day, right? I feel like that it's a fun test for sure. Unless it goes super viral and then you're like, oh shit, I need to put together a full song now. I can imagine that being stressful.
Yeah. And a lot of bands will like fake that. Like they've already finished the song and then they do it. We've always like not faked it and just like, oh no, sorry guys.
Whoops, we actually need to finish this now. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, we had some stressful times and some songs that we rushed and like, oh no, I don't like this mix anymore, or like, stuff like that. But it's always exciting, and I think it's cool to like bring, the internet with us on this like journey. I think that's cool. But super not practical at all. So yeah, this album was not like that. We're trusting. We've got some heaters in the tank ready to go, and we're not relying on audience feedback.
Yeah, we've successfully like kept things a secret, and like I don't know. It's it's nice to get like to give little like teasers and get people's reactions or whatever, but like yeah, we were like, we're not going to do that this album. We're not going to release anything early. We're not going to rush into anything. And I feel like it paid off.
I was going to say, it sounds like that was hard for you guys based off of the way you're talking and body language right now. It sounds like it was very, very hard for you to not just like leak your whole damn album.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I feel like there was definitely it's almost it's like a trust fall to like stop posting every day. Like, when we kind of have like our whole career was made by, social media and things going viral and people interacting with us on there. And then to give it space and give ourselves time to make new stuff and all that kind of stuff. It's really like, okay, I hope you guys are all still there when we come back. We're going to let it go. We're going to take a break. We're going to get it, and so far everyone's still there. So, so that feels great.
Yeah. Tell me what that was like taking that step back, because, I found you guys on social media a few years ago, like a lot of your fans. And, as someone that actively posts on social media myself, like I get that, sometimes it feels like a chore to be posting every single day. Sometimes it feels like if you don't post, all of a sudden you're just going to disappear, or people aren't going to care about you anymore. Like there's such a weird relationship with an online audience. So how did that impact you actively saying, okay, we're going to step back from that at this point?
One of the last minute songs we wrote is exactly about that. So, so you'll hear some things about that in this album. But but yeah, no, I think that like I mean, it really is like terrible toxic thing. Like social media it just rots your mind and soul, and so stepping away from it is like scary at first, but then feels really good, and then in like a couple of weeks you're like, who even cares? And and it's great. And then having to start back up again, it's it's kind of bad. It kind of feels bad because you go right back to the like toxic, like checking your notifications and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's awful. It's awful, but yeah, I think we're trying to find, at least Taryn doesn't do social media stuff. That's all me, but I'm shielding you from it. No.
Yeah. She's like, I got to keep my mental space nice and clear.
Exactly. But no, I feel like we're finding better ways to deal with all that stuff and more. And I think a lot of it has to do with just like more planning ahead for everything and making sure everything is stay focused on the art and all that kind of stuff. So
let's talk about the art. Let's talk about the latest video that you put out. I don't know, I just work here, working in a pizza shop, lots of visuals within this one here. What was the creative choice behind the scenes? Why did we go with this style of video? What's the pizza reference? Is it like a first job for you, or is there any meaning behind any of that? Talk to me a little bit about that.
So yeah, I mean, obviously I think the lyrics of the song are super obviously like, okay, we got to be like working at a fast food place. And then so we were like, originally it was going to be like an old fashioned like diner or something like that. And then we were like, how about like a burger place? And then we were like, but we literally hit up so many restaurants being like, can we shoot at your spot? And nobody even responded, like dozens of places. And like, we couldn't even get a hold of somebody. I like we went in and like, I would go in person and like find the manager and be like, hey, we want to do this thing. And then we would email him, nothing, just like, nope, like whatever. But eventually, through like a friend of whatever, we ended up with Pagliai's Pizza in Mankato, Minnesota. And it's actually like this, like has some legendary like punk rock history.
Oh.
Uh, yeah, apparently I didn't know this before, but apparently like Green Day like played there early on, like in this pizza shop, and uh, and uh, uh, one of their like I think one of their like girlfriends worked at Pagliai's Pizza, and so like that was like a spot that they would interact with or whatever. Um,
I did not know that.
you didn't know that? Maybe you missed that
No.
conversation when we were talking about that. I don't know a lot of the details about that, but I know that there's some history there, which is really cool. And so they were like extremely. They were like, "Yep, we're closed today. Do your thing," and then just like left. And it was like could not have been more perfect. The vibe of the spot was perfect. Like everything was great, except we have a scene outside the store where we're like performing, and right on the other side, like off of out of view from the camera, is a giant glass wall of like an expensive fancy restaurant, and it was full of people just like watching.
We're
So
out
awkward.
performing, and everyone's just staring at us, but like fake
And all,
performing,
yeah, all they hear is the drums, and we're all in like pizza costumes, and like there's a tube man going crazy. Very
matching yellow. We
confusing.
have so many matching yellow like little outfits and costumes, and we're just running around in public all the time, and it's so embarrassing.
It is very
I was
embarrassing.
looking at this video too. This was this was one of the videos that we did not direct, so it's a little bit different than the other ones, but it was interesting, just approaching it a little bit differently, and like it was honestly really nice being able to kind of have someone do a lot of the brain work for us. Almost, we spent a lot of time like planning our videos and gathering everything and whatever. And this one just felt a little bit different, and it was good though. It was easier in a sense.
Our friends at Tree Dome are great. They crush it every time. And I've been like, we've been directing our own videos and then shooting them. Like our friend shoots them for us, but then I edit everything too. And that's just a lot of work, a lot of hours. And so being able to pass off any chunk of that to somebody else was like hugely helpful. So yeah, this video, this video was great. It all worked out.
Yeah.
What's your background outside of music? Because a lot of creativity there, also on the like video editing side of it, and just understanding the way audiences work and getting that attention. Like, do you have a background in that, or is that just something that you figured out on your own?
My background is being in a band with no money for a long time and having to do everything myself.
I love that answer.
Yeah, no, literally, my old band, Coyote Kid, I did that for like 12 years. And we never had any money to hire anybody to do anything. So like so with this band, then it kind of turned into this thing where I've like kind of adopted all these little skills and different things. But then with this project, it can have just a totally unified vision that we create together. And then I can like all the merch and the album design and the photo shoots and all of it is like I'm hands-on my computer editing all of it. And it just makes everything super cohesive. Like there's no clashing of ideas or vibes or anything, because it's just like we do all of it. So it's a lot of work, and there's definitely like cracks, but I kind of think that that's part of the charm, you know what I mean? And like we have done so many videos in my parents' garage just because it's a big dark space. and we're gonna run out of ideas eventually, but for now it's been great. Doesn't happen yet. We got more videos on the way.
Oh yeah.
But but yeah, it's been uh cool to kind of see these, like, it's been, a decade of slogging away, just trying to do the best we can. But now all those skills have come together to make something really cool that is like, yeah, totally this like unified vision. The whole album feels super cohesive, and all the visuals coming together, and I don't know, it's really cool. So yeah, it's been a slog, but I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, I feel like we've been also just slowly added more tools to our toolbox, and just with like video gear, camera gear, props, I don't know, everything. And so again, this time around, we've just had more resources collected at that point. And yeah, we just talk a lot to each other. we text like too much, but yeah, I feel like a big part of what we do too is just like so much brainstorming, like back and forth. And I think that's how we've been able to narrow things down a lot with like our choices, you know?
Yeah, and like, I mean, I text Taryn like a picture of my computer screen while I'm like editing merch or whatever, like 100 times. Like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? How is this?
We should just
It's the perfect
FaceTime.
system.
You guys are obviously very close. What's it like working so closely as siblings on this project and on this album, and just in general in a band, right? Like there's, you hear bands that fight within each other, and I think of my relationships with my relationships with my brothers, and I fight with them all of the time. I can't imagine working with them so close. As much as I love them, like we fight it out all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm sure you've gotten asked this a million times, but what's that sibling work relationship like?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, I mean, we've never really fought, to be honest. Like I don't know. We have kind of a pretty significant age gap between us, and so like I don't know, we weren't really buds or anything till adulthood. But I feel like because we're family, we can be, there's room for honesty and like brutal honesty, you know? So when it comes to creative choices, I think that's where it's a cool space. And yeah, I feel like some like friendships or bands like fall apart over things, and we're stuck for life, you know? um, there are no choices, no. But yeah, I think again, just having the space to be super honest, and again just dialogue about everything, I think has been awesome. So
Yeah, definitely. I feel like with working with other people in so many creative spaces, there's always some level of like trying to figure out how to communicate healthy, and deal with delicate emotional things and things like that. Well, me and
professionally,
Taryn, it's just like, here it is, and it's like, that sucks, and I'm like, okay, and then we slap it around, and it works. We're siblings, and that's just like, I don't know, we can just be totally real, and yeah, it's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's no walking on eggshells, because you can say something that the other person absolutely hates to hear, but at the end of the day, it's like, fuck you. What do you do? Stop loving me? You're my brother. You're my sister.
Exactly.
You have to love me. It's law. That's the way this works.
You can't get away.
You can't choose a sibling. I love that. You guys are going on tour fairly soon. What can people expect from your live shows?
We are stepping up our live show so much. I'm so excited about it. We've always been like, we just work really small. We have a really small van. It's like, 4 or 5 people max. and we just like make it work. And guys in a band, and we just go on stage and play instruments, and that's what it is. But for this show, we're stepping it up, and we have some very fun visuals we're working on that I hope come together. I'm stretching myself kind of a lot to make these visuals happen, but
you're kind of afraid to tackle this.
I'm a little afraid to talk about it because I don't want to make promises and then it sucks or something. But I'm pretty sure here I'll give you like the pitch. This is the plan. Basically, I want to find a whole bunch of thrift store TVs and like bring them on tour, and there's going to be a whole bunch of TVs with like a video show throughout the whole set. So it's like a light show, but with videos. But then it can be like lyrics, and the audience can sing along, and then it can be like little animated guys and all that kind of stuff. So sounds cool, sounds easy. We'll see.
It doesn't sound easy. I'll be honest with you. I'm like trying to think the logistics of it, and I'm like, you have to have one TV playing this, one TV playing that, and then it's like, how do you press play on all of them at the same time, or how do you like? I don't know. That seems very convoluted to me.
Are we going to start a fire? I don't know. Just kidding.
I've figured out some of the logistics, but not all of them. So. That's next month's problem. We're gonna figure that out. But hopefully it all comes together, and the shows are gonna be awesome. And yeah, honestly, these new songs are gonna go so hard live. Like I'm like pumped about it. They're like faster and bigger and louder, and there's stuff to sing along with, and we're gonna jump around, and like it's just like playing our old music feels so like. We're like in a cage. It's like, oh, the new music is so much more like, so anyway, we're going to play old music too, but I think these new songs are going to really lend themselves to a really great show. So
are there songs that you are going to have to get rid of on your current set list that you're like sad about?
There's
a ton.
We were talking about this like last week or something. We're just trying to like narrow down our new set, and we're like, it's impossible. Like, because everybody's attached to one of the songs, and so everybody's going to be disappointed in one way or another. And so that's a hard battle to figure out. And we're super excited about the new songs, but there's still value in the old ones. So
I'm trying to really not have my like new songs are better glasses on all the time. We're trying to be like, okay, no. People like the old songs. I don't want to be that guy that only plays new songs. But we have a lot of songs are special to certain people, to small groups of people, and there's just not enough time. So there will be some hard sacrifices we're gonna have to make, but we'll figure it out. We'll try and find a balance that feels right.
If your new album, I want to have a fun conversation here. If your new album was a movie genre, what movie genre would it be?
Honestly, it's kind of all over the place. Like, good question. I kind of feel like it could be like an angsty, like coming of age teenage story or something.
Yeah.
Cause there's some like legit like punk rock in this. There's like some legit yelly, screamy, fast stuff. And there's some like acoustic ballad stuff too. And there's some like emotional stuff too. And so, I feel like something that's like youthful and angsty, but also like is trying to say something too. That's the only kind of movie that I can think of that is both of those things. Is that so?
And now we have this angsty coming of age film. Who's playing each of you in this movie?
Ooh. I have no idea.
Come on, you're telling me you've never thought about who would play you in a movie before?
I've never thought about that. Sorry.
The person that I get told I look like the most often is a young Dave Grohl, but young Dave Grohl doesn't exist, and he's not an actor. So I don't know.
Having Dave Grohl play you in a movie in like his acting debut, I think would be the most epic thing to happen to the music and movie world.
Having a like, I don't know how old he is, but old Dave Grohl playing like teenage me, hilarious.
Some extra makeup, you know, he can put on some makeup. Anyone on your end, Taryn? I'm putting you on the spot here.
I know, not off the top of my head. I'll think of it in like an hour and I'll get back to you. No.
Honestly, we're both like really tall, and I feel like there aren't that many like tall actors. You know what I mean?
You know,
like
I'm
like,
surprised at how many short actors and actresses there are out there. And like, I'm not that tall either, but I'm 5'11", and like, you know, you run into some celebrities and you're like, whoa, I didn't expect you to be that short.
It's crazy. Like when a lot of times if we'll meet a fan in person, they're like shocked at how big we are. Cause like you can't tell online, you know? Yeah, I don't know.
So how tall are the both of you?
I am I'm like almost 5'11".
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 6'5".
You're 6'5".
Yeah. Have you heard of song Big Boy?
That is about being 6'5".
Yeah, it says that's literally a lyric in there. 6'5" certified husky. That's like a line.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
But because of that, we have amassed a fan base of like big boys, and we literally have to stock up on like the like double XLT shirts because like the big boys will come through and buy them all.
And then they're gonna stand at the front and just piss off everybody at the show standing behind them.
The song "Big Boy" is about standing in the back of the show.
Oh my god, amazing!
I feel like there's the big boys, and then the other big boys are like children. Like we have a lot of kid fans with that song specifically, which is really funny to me.
That's extra funny.
The other kind of big boy.
Yeah.
Is it you good? You okay, big boy?
Yeah.
What's the weirdest or funniest comment that you've gotten on social media? Like the one that really stuck with you?
Oh man, we get weird comments all the time.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to think because there's a few that I've gotten in the past before where, you know, I'll talk to some friends that don't necessarily follow me or have social media, and then they'll see like my social media following and go, oh, like, you know, do you ever get weird comments or hateful comments or anything like that? And there's always a couple that stick out to me that you just kind of tell as a funny story to laugh about. And I'm wondering if there's anything for you that's really stuck out where maybe you're privately with some friends at a bar or something like that. I'd be like, dude, you're never going to believe what this one guy said.
I actually just posted today about these weird hate comments we've been getting on IDK. I just work here, calling it stomp clap hey music. And it's like,
no, like they're like, putting you in the same category as the Lumineers.
Yeah. Yes. And the song is like closer to like Blink 182. Like, it's like, what are you hearing? Like, what?
Yeah. I'm not hearing Mumford and Sons in there.
No, my theory is that it's like kids who didn't grow up with real stomp clap hey, but they know about like millennial cringe, you know, they like know that. And I think that they're just hearing an acoustic guitar. Because the intro of the song is an acoustic guitar. And like literally, if I think they're hearing that and being like, stomp clap hey, there it is. Yeah. Next.
Ew, millennials.
Anyway, that's so bizarre to me.
I love that.
Like my old band was Stomp Clap Hey, like straight up, like, like I've been there, man. It's not Des. I don't know what you're talking about.
This one is so fresh too. Like, yeah, you just posted about that today, and
Yeah.
it's ooh,
It's a good discourse. So
Stomp.
I'm
yeah,
hoping that we will get people, talk like. I hope people go and listen to it and be like, why do people think this is Stomp Clap Hey? Like, dissect the song, stream it 100 times. Maybe that's the only way to find out.
Keep listening to it until you no longer think it's Stomp Clap Hey.
Exactly.
What's the one thing that you really want people to take away from this album?
Mm.
I just feel like our music has a really strong theme of of just like there's a relatability to everything, and I want everyone to feel like they're not like alone, and like we have these like really a wide array of themes and stuff, but they're kind of specific. And so I'm hoping that each one finds its person who's like, this is me, and they can have, and that's your song, and yeah, I hope that there's a sense of belonging there, and then also a sense of community. As like we've had our fans will make friends at shows, and then they become like lifelong friends, and like our Discord is like popping with people just hanging out and making friends, and I just kind of think it's like I feel like we're building like a really cool like community of people that I hope stay connected and will bond over this and continue to bond over the rest of life. And yeah, I just hope it's like comforting and cathartic and something that you will pass down to the next generation someday. That's like what I dream of this album being for people.
Yeah, it seems like also uh, there's been a lot of people saying that like we are their new favorite band, like the first new band they found that they've liked for like years, and so I think that's really cool, and I do hope that people find community in this and like bonding over this, like you said, and I hope people come to shows. Like I hope they like our music so much that they come to shows and they bring their friends and they meet more friends. And again, I think the point we're at right now is like putting more emphasis on our live shows and that whole experience. And I think I'm just excited for that, and I'm excited for um, people to see it and be a part of it and be a part of the journey of us.
There's a
You
bit
go.
I always say on stage. I say uh, being a band is a team sport, and you all make a team.
I love
and it's
that.
great. Yeah, it's being in a band is the greatest job in the world. Doesn't pay for shit, but that's fine because we're having a good time.
And of course, the people listening or watching on YouTube can come and check out those shows on Your Friend from the Real World tour, and go and check out This Movie Sucks out on June 27th. Of course, one last thing that we like to do at the end of this show, this show is really about growing the music scene and spreading some love for a lot of artists that are working very hard, such as yourself. Do you have any other bands that you are listening to or love, or you feel deserve more love that maybe my audience should go and check out? Any recommendations for them to check out right now?
The band Michigander, they just put out this banger of an album. It is incredible. And every song is just like so expertly written and so expertly like made. And then I've also been really into Winona Fighter. They're like an up and coming like punk band, and they're just like kicking butt, and it's awesome. And their whole album is great. And our friends Gully Boys, they're incredible too. They keep on putting out these sick singles and sick videos, and they're just like
They're in
doing
the
everything
studio
right.
all the time too.
Yeah,
So,
they are working hard, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like every day on TikTok I'll like follow more people and then find them later, and they just did the coolest thing in the whole world, and I'm like, oh my gosh, good for you, keep going. Like,
it's community.
yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Go and check out those bands as well. Winona Fighter, I also had Coco on the show. Incredible album. So go and check out that episode as well if you're listening or watching. But great recommendations. What about you, Taryn?
I mean, yeah, I was going to mention Gully Boys as well. I think like there's a very good like music band community in Minneapolis, and there's a band called Bugsy that I really like, that opened up for us a while ago. And yeah, I was going to mention Gully Boys as well. They've been working hard, and again, they're in the studio all the time. It seems like. So yeah.
Keep
Awesome.
for Cheap too. I really like Keep for Cheap. They're like this like fun like folksy rock band thing. They call it prairie rock. That's what it is.
I love that.
Prairie rock.
But they're
love
awesome. It's so sick. Yeah, yeah. I every time I hear one of their songs, I'm like, this is good.
They opened for us for a Halloween show last year, and they did like a SpongeBob cover because they were all dressed like SpongeBob characters. Full on.
Oh, that's epic.
I think they did a cover of like Ripped Pants or something. I don't know.
Amazing.
We
Gotta
were
see if
dressed
that's
as
on
the Ninja
YouTube or
Turtles.
something. Did you do a Ninja Turtle song? Is there a Ninja Turtle song?
We walked out to a Ninja Turtle song, but we didn't cover one.
I wish we did. I know.
We didn't have time.
It's a good idea for the bank for next Halloween.
Exactly.
Well, thank you both for taking the time and coming on the show today. Really, really appreciate it. And once again, June 27th, This Movie Sucks. Go and check it out.
Thank you for listening to Our Space with Matt Batiste. If you enjoyed yourself, please support the show by subscribing and leaving a review.